Hi, friends. A few years ago, I ran into someone that I had known in seminary some years before. And this woman had been ordained as a clergy person in the United Church of Christ. And she had served UCC churches for a few years, a couple of different churches. And by the time I ran into her, she was selling real estate. She had left the ministry and was selling real estate. And I asked her, I said, so in the big picture of your life, how do you tell the story of those years in which you were ministry? How do you put that time of doing ministry into the narrative of your whole life? And she said to me, I have always thought that ministry is sort of like being in the Peace Corps. You go and you do it for a while, and then you're done. And you go back and you live the rest of your normal life, right? And that was a good experience, but you're only supposed to be in the Peace Corps for a few years at a time. It's not a lifetime of work. And at the time, I thought, that is so different than our United Methodist theology of ordination. When I was ordained, I went through an experience that matched what I had learned about the theology of our denomination about ordination. In our Wesleyan tradition, when you are ordained, it changes something inside of you. And so in the Methodist tradition, people are ordained for life. Even if I stopped doing the ministry of a local church, I would still go through the world as a person who had been ordained, set apart in some way for the work, to kind of commit my life to the work of God in the world. So that's what ordination means. And I'm telling you this because this coming Sunday, we have the opportunity to share together the experience of watching our California-Nevada Conference's ordination service that is part of the annual conference that happens each year. Because it's online this year, we have a chance to share in it, and you get to see something that not everyone always does. It will be Sunday morning at 10:30. We are going to have regular LAUMC church worship, little bits of it at 8:30 and 10 o'clock, just 25 minutes of our worship. And then at 10:25, Pastor Jeremy and I will turn our attention toward the conference's ordination service. And we're going to sort of guide you through it and tell you what to look for and what things mean that might seem kind of confusing on their face. So I hope you will join us for that experience, that Sunday morning. Come at either 8:30 or 10 for just a little bit of LAUMC worship, and then join us at 10:25 for the conference's ordination service. We're also going to be talking in the LAUMC portions of the morning about what it means to be called to God's work in the world. And I really think that is not just clergy people who are called. I think everyone who sees themselves as a follower of Jesus is called to live differently in some way in the world. It's kind of what we say when we are baptized, or what our parents say for us at the moment of baptism. So we're going to talk about the calling of every person to be set apart in some way for being part of God's continuing story in the world. I hope you'll be with us on Sunday, and until then, have a good and hopeful week. Take good care. Stay well.